On this week's road to Mangaung, Cyril Ramaphosa moves to clear his name and Cosatu reclaim lost ground in the northwest. We begin with businessman Cyril Ramaphosa's attempts to appear before the Farlam Commission in the Northwest Province. After startling revelations last week at the Commission formed to discover the real reason behind the Marikana killings, Ramaphosa stands accused of orchestrating the death of 34 miners at the hands of police on August 16th this year. Dali Mpofu, the advocate that is representing the miners at the Commission, produced transcripts of emails that were sent by Ramaphosa that confirm he tried to get both the Ministers of Mineral Resources, Susan Shabangu, and Police, Nati Ntetwa, to intervene at the Lonmin mine prior to the incident. What makes this interesting is that Ramaphosa is a board member at Lonmin and owns shares at the mine through a BEE subsidiary. Even more so is the fact that he's been tipped as a possible candidate for ANC Deputy President at the ANC Electoral Conference in Mangaung. Being couched as a possible running mate for President Jacob Zuma, the billionaire businessman's candidature is now under threat as he's being painted as a ravenous capitalist who is out of touch with the plight of the poor. What hasn't helped Ramaphosa's cause is the 18 million rand he bid for a buffalo at a wildlife auction, barely weeks after he pledged just 2 million rand to assist with the burials of the slain miners. Now, if Ramaphosa's appearance at the Commission is in fact an attempt to restore confidence with ANC voters ahead of Mangaung, or a mere attempt to save face after several weeks of harsh criticism, is unclear at this stage. However, with his stature within the ruling party, civil society and the South African public at large at stake, the man seen as being instrumental in the drafting of South Africa's constitution will be under severe scrutiny if he does appear before the Commission. Elsewhere, Cosatu has attempted to regain ground in the northwest after wildcat industrial action in that region of the country has eroded their support across the Platinum Belt. Cosatu's Secretary-General Vavi led a 1,000-person strong march through Rustenburg this weekend in what was billed as the Labour Federation's attempt to steamroll counter-revolutionary elements that are allegedly taking advantage of worker unrest in the region. They were met with an opposing show of force in the form of the Democratic Socialist Movement, who pelted the marchers with stones in an attempt to get Cosatu to retreat. A clash ensued and police were forced to use rubber bullets and tear gas in attempts to neutralize the situation. Injuries were incurred, arrests were made, and both sides blame each other. Cosatu claimed that the Democratic Socialist movements are using workers' plight to bolster their attempts to form an opposition political party. Conversely, the Democratic Socialist movement claimed that Cosatu is merely trying to regain the area to recommence their own exploitation of workers on behalf of mines in the area. Now, in the midst of all the he said and she said, signs are beginning to emerge that Cosatu can no longer claim to be the sole voice of workers' rights in South Africa. While the Democratic Socialist movement may only be a few hundred people strong, their mere existence is a surefire sign that people are not only unhappy, but also considering their options. It will be important to see how Cosatu faces up to the Democratic Socialist movement, as it's an indication as to how South Africa's largest labour movement faces up to discontent. Whether or not the Labour partner of the ANC's tripartite alliance can truly claim the moral high ground while chaos continues to reign in the Platinum Belt of the Northwest will only become clearer on the road to Mangaung.